Hello, my name is Jack Ward, and I'm the Executive Vice President of the American Hereford Association. The Hereford Association is the oldest beef breed association in the United States, established in 1881. The first Herefords were actually brought into the United States by a Kentucky statesman in the early 1800s, and his name was Henry Clay. But the Hereford breed really got its establishment when a group of breeders by the name of Google and Simpson, as well as Gammon, imported the first bull named Anxiety IV. Shortly after that, at a World's Fair, Mr. Gammon recognized some Hereford cattle that were polled, and thus started not only the American Hereford Association, but also the American Polled Hereford Association. We're in Spotsylvania County, Virginia, the home of Deer Track Farms, and we're going to sit down with some gentlemen to talk about the history of the Hereford breed in the state of Virginia and its connection to the American Hereford Association. So let's meet these gentlemen.
I'm James Bennett from Knollcrest Farm. I'm one of a four-generation family farm. I would be the second generation. Three sons, Paul, Jim, and Brian would be the third generation, and more recently, our two grandsons, Scott and Dalton. Our operation consists of three breeds of cattle now. The Polled Hereford go back to 1944.
My name is Harry Kanabe. I'm from Dillwyn, Virginia, which is in Buckingham County. The name of my farm is Winterfield Farm. I raise Polled Hereford cattle and have been for 60 years. I still have the cattle and I'm still active in the Polled Hereford business. I was helpful in organizing the Virginia Polled Hereford Association, which was officially organized in 1968, and was first president of the Virginia Polled Hereford Association. And we're still in the cattle business in Buckingham County.
I'm Bill Perry. I was area coordinator for the American Polled Hereford Association in this area from 1963 to 1980. I worked all of the East Coast from South Carolina through New England, including Virginia and West Virginia. We organized the Virginia Polled Hereford Association in 1968, and in 8 or 9 years we grew from no members to 136 members in Virginia.
Folks, my name is Ike Eller. I'm here on this glorious day to talk about the Hereford business and the cattle business. I'm a native Virginian. I worked most of my career for Virginia Tech as Extension Livestock Specialist, and with that work, I worked with many of the purebred breeders across the state, helping them formulate their associations, including the Virginia Polled Hereford Association and the performance programs, our old Virginia BCIA, and the national programs that grew from it. Glad to be here.
Harry, you were the first president of the Virginia Hereford Association. Tell us a little bit about how it got formed.
A lot of hard work, a lot of traveling, a lot of meetings, and actually it was the Virginia Polled Hereford Association we started, and it was what we considered to be an economic necessity for us as breeders to be able to merchandise our cattle much better. Was really the idea that drove us founding the Virginia Polled Hereford Association, with a lot of help from the American Polled Hereford Association and their leadership at the time.
Well, Bill, let's turn our attention to you and let's talk a little bit about how the relationship was amongst the American Polled Hereford Association and how you helped not only the state of Virginia but others along the East Coast that you represented get their state association started.
Well, when I came on the picture in the early 60s, we had a lot of small breeders scattered up and down the East Coast. And of course, the American Polled Hereford Association's staff of field men was actually called area coordinators. And that's what we went about trying to organize these groups, get the people working together, and we felt like that was the way to go to make things successful and everybody feel a part of the business. And I think that's the reason the Virginia Pole Hereford Association was so successful, was because everybody worked together and supported one another and felt a part of the business. And that's the way we tried to make it work.
Let's turn our attention a little bit then, if you will, to the performance part of what you did, Ike, and your relationship with Hereford breeders here in the state of Virginia as you begin to collect data on cattle.
In 1955, the Virginia Beef Cattle Improvement Association was organized, which was the first such organization in the country. That grew, and those programs, not only in Virginia but in other states, those state BCI programs, were really ahead of the national breed associations in collecting that data and getting it back to breeders and doing the educational work and so forth. And I think it favored Virginia a lot because we were pretty successful, and as such, we provided a good bit of leadership through breeders primarily and others in these national programs. And so we had a background of performance data that some states didn't get involved with as early as Virginia.
James, you were a past president of the Beef Improvement Federation, as well as a past president, as Ike just mentioned, of the American Polled Hereford Association. Tell me a little bit about some of the struggles, if you will, as the early stages of beef improvement evaluations and beef improvement projects were put together.
I really owe Ike a lot of credit in not only what he did, but what he did for us. A good example of that would, when you mentioned BIF and having served on that board, I got a phone call one day at lunch from Zan Stewart, from Stewart Land and Cattle Country here in Virginia. And Zan suggested that they were having an election the next day of a board member at large, and that he and Ike had done a little legwork and thought they could get me elected as a member of that board. And he just wanted to run it past me. Well, I assured him that no way. I mean, at that time we had 5 children at home under, children. So anyway, I was a bit surprised at how insistent he was that yeah, I needed to consider that, and I never backed up a bit. But finally he said, wait a minute, Ike wants to talk to you. Well, Ike came on the phone and he said, we need to be straight with you. Said that election was yesterday, and said Zan and I did a fair amount of homework and said, we got you elected. Said, I just want to congratulate you. And I said, Ike, why did you do that to me? He said, we didn't do it to you. Said, we did it for you. And he never made a more exact statement. That's what they did for me. Yeah. And that organization is what we built our philosophy around, as you know, sure, the performance aspect of it. And so we had the benefit of being exposed to the Virginia effort and being exposed to the to the national, that's right, the politics of it. So, but the beauty there was that even though we were of several different breeds, we kind of checked our breed affiliation or a breed bias at the door. Uh-huh. And it was all for the good of the industry. Right. And this is what's amazed me about this cattle industry. You know, there are no selfish folks in it that succeed. Right. You share and you benefit, and it's good for the total aspect of what we are serving for, rather than whether it be Noel Crest Farm or whatever.
It's been a great time for me to learn not only the history of the Virginia Hereford, but share stories and listen to the kind of the trials and tribulations, if you will, of the development of the association and how it was involved with the American Association. So thank you very much. And again, what a beautiful setting we have here at Deer Track Farms. And we want to thank Bob and the Virginia Hereford Association for giving us this opportunity to get together and share some stories.
And all of us, I think, want to thank you for coming and your efforts you put into this. And of course, Bob Schaefer and the Virginia Hereford Association that is here today for sponsoring this event and giving us their share piece.
Well, thank you.
You all.
Thank you.